HipHop culture. Hip-hop is no longer safe. Actually, it never was. Over the past 10 years the music industry has gotten more dangerous. More and more lives are being lost in the rap game at an alarming rate. With the lure of money, fame and power, HipHop has attracted millions of people into its trap. The record labels has been ousted by the internet. The small labels are clouded and independent artist is multiplying every day. From the beginning of HipHop, there was always some type of mentorship for up-and-coming artists. Now artists are catapulted into the spotlight with no image consulting or PR. Even in prior history of HipHop you had to really be somebody or know somebody to get in. And once you got in you had to really be talented on top of really having to have a story to tell. With so many people turning to the rap game it caused for the genre to take lead in 2017 surpassing rock. Hip-hop as we know it, is the most influential genre in the world. From kids to the president you can hear rap lyrics spewing from the mouths of any race, age and gender. The internet made it easy for anyone to become ruler of their OW and destiny in the music world. So there are millions aiming for a piece of the pie. Everyone from gangsters, squares, mothers, workers to kids. Now comes another phenomenon to fear. Extortion. The leading cause of issues arising are due to artists being threatened to pay a % of their proceeds to individuals within a certain area where you're performing. Some people are speculating about the Illuminati being the cause of artist deaths, downfalls and rises. But we'll get into that later. One thing for certain, hip-hop is dangerous. So I'll give ya all new artist that's infatuated with the music industry and wish to join it should be warned, if you're not built for aggression, beef, extortion, proposals etc. don't get into it at all. You've been warned. From extortion to setups, you have to be on point more than ever in the industry now. Can you imagine meeting a fan online that's a setup artist? Can you imagine going to do a show only to be confronted by 100 goons? Or how about tricked into a faulty contract by a CEO that's really a gangster? For the sake of lawsuits I won't write names, but how many rappers you know got robbed? It's funny how we covered all that negative stuff and we still didn't get to one of the main issues. Envy. It's been so many cases where music artist has died from a jealous friend, family or fan. We can't forget your competition, other music artist. You're gonna have other artists coming at you in all different forms to trick you or just simply knock you out your spot physically. Like I said before, the competition is in abundance but only a certain few is chosen at a certain time. As we know there's music artist that's preceding you and they want to keep a strong hold on the market. So by just getting into the rap game, whether you do good or bad, you will still be stepping on someone's toes. Rappers and singers have had some mysterious deaths over the years but there's no one really paying attention to the actual deaths or trying to solve the cases. Then you have the underground artist that gets killed and the most press it will get is YouTube or Facebook coverage. Sad part about it is Facebook is the actual place where the artists are getting targeted. There's been multiple deaths connected to rappers going live and getting murdered during they live broadcast feed. It makes you question, is there HipHop police? They're around when the artists are rich and famous and into controversy, why not with all artists? Exploitation is an understatement when it comes to speaking on the status of HipHop. I won't go into the specifics of the WHOs but we all know that rap has been exploited by people. WHO has nothing to do with the culture. I know you're questioning what does exploitation has to do with the industry being dangerous? So here is your answer. In 2019 music artist Kodak Black signed a artist from Brooklyn NY. Not long after that a certain label signed a artist that is beefing with the artist Kodak Black signed. Yay, they have a right to sign anyone they want, but it makes you think why now? Especially since that artist the label all of a sudden got faith in been out grinding. Why take notice now? And that's when the danger comes into play. Usually venues will have precautions on artists that has conflict with each other that's occupying the same venue. In the past there's been situations where artists have lost their lives because of labels and venues wanting controversy instead of keeping the beef apart. So thus is the reason for exploitation being dangerous for a music artist. Welcome to Chicago. Chicago is the leading state besides Texas that has the most artists killed. The sad part of it is a good percent that were slain had a natural talent that was undeniable. Chicago was always a staple in music, but with the new generation and internet they were able to make a music industry of their own. Now you have drill music which later branched out to New York. But where there's greatness it has to be some negativity lingering around. The negative effect of Chicago making the OWN lane was, there was no one to oversee the artist and development. Now young kids are able to be their OWN CEO and control the uploads. Then a trend happened. Speak your real life and show I'm in your videos and overnight success can happen. Then the competition took way. Artists were trying to outdo each other's video by getting more and more savage. Then you started hearing artists putting the deaths of their opposition in their raps and all hell broke loose. The younger generation figured it out. Controversy sells. People won't admit the fact that it was partially music that caused Chicago's murder rate to boost. Chicago been dangerous, yes, but not until 20 was when Chicago turned into a bloodbath. And that's around the time drill music started to take off. By then Chief Keef and Lil Durk had made it to the top while leaving behind a deadly formula and trend of getting rich in music. Welcome to New York. Now New York has always had their OWN identity, but lately the trend's been copied from other cities. In this case New York has inherited the drill lifestyle and made it more fitting for their habitat. Since drill music been introduced in the city it's been a lot of talent making it big. Welcome to Detroit. For those who don't know, Detroit is responsible for a lot of the new rap styles that's out. From Big Sean to T Grizzly, there's endless talent in Detroit. Since Detroit is the Midwest, they go neck and neck with Chicago with a similar lifestyle. With Detroit being one of the top cities in the country with poverty, it's impossible for it not to be dangerous. Detroit residents went through a rough time when the economy went bust in 20. People were forced to make ends meet by all means. With Chicago leading the way, Detroit followed suit and went straight to the drill lifestyle. Now with artists like Snap Dogg making it big, Detroit it's up in the top cities with artists in the industry. But that's not the problem. The problem occurs when some rappers don't make it. No FLY zone, no travel zone for out-of-town artists looking to perform within city without paying respect to artists and OGs of the streets. Checking in, to contact and meet up with individuals in other states when you're visiting the city for protection, extortion, gang ties or paying respect. Now we all know that people have this check-in thing mixed up. Everyone has their OWN opinion of what check-in means. Some people feel it's respect, some people feel it's disrespectful. First, OFF check-in is a West Coast term. It's also a jail term for prisoners. When used in prison, check-in means to go to the SHU, Special Housing Unit, willingly for protection or to get away from danger. Somewhere down the line the term check-in got turned into a form of disrespect in the streets. Personally, I feel in the streets the only people that should be checking in is gang members or those who wish to seek protection. Gang members check in out of habit, not by force or fear. It only makes sense to contact my gang when I touch down in the town. WHO wouldn't do that? Well, for Detroit OGs, they feel that if artists not checking in and doing right by Detroit and its artist, you can't come perform there. Now I know I said checking in earlier, but this is not checking in, this is what it is: do right or don't come here. No FLY zone. A while back a New York rap group went out there to Detroit, and looking back at all the past troubles of the industry, you would think people would be opposed to joining the rap game. It seems the direct opposite. Now let's look at it from a different side. The dangers also stem from high popularity as an artist. Being a prominent figure in the music industry can cause a lot of trouble when that person gleans a lot of power. Theory or no theory, with no title, I feel there's a certain higher power in the world that doesn't want or allow an artist with too much money and power. So if you know your history of music, then you'll know that, in the past, artists have died that was gaining insurmountable power. It could have been other reasons they died. WHO knows? But a pattern of only high-profile artists were always targeted that had power. The setup. Have you ever heard of the situation where E40 and Biggie got into an altercation? Well, if yes, here you heard it again, lol. Being an artist in the industry, you have to deal with people to get certain things done, and when you have to deal with individuals, you have to deal with issues at times. You also have to place trust in some people with your moves. Assistant, driver, accountant, security, club promoters, etc., and that at times can be dangerous. Scamming on the gram. Multiple rappers have been victims of robberies via Instagram. The leading trend on IG is money flaunting. It's no question when artists make it big and start accumulating funds, they tend to show it. And when I mean show it, I mean literally show it. You can see rappers starting out with thousands, then hundreds of thousands, and even millions on Instagram. From the Making It Rain challenge to the Money Spread challenge, this trend has gotten multiple rappers robbed. And here comes the dangers. Some rappers are not too fond of getting robbed for the jewelry they worked their whole life to get. And in order to stop a robber, rappers' choice of defense usually is a firearm. Highly renowned artist Gucci's situation is the epitome of a robbery gone wrong. Suicidal thoughts. So many artists and music personnel took their lives due to the stress of the music business mixed with other factors. The pressures of the business can overwhelm one to the brink of insanity. It's no wonder they don't do psych evaluations on people upon becoming an artist. Most of the artists that's catapulted into stardom wasn't ready for life, period, let alone a rich life. Some of the cases we can blame the industry, but honestly we want to know if they would have did the same in a regular life in a different way. Tricky contracts. Learning the industry jargon can be a job within itself. The industry is designed to be complex for a reason. There's a corporate format that's laid out that can be detrimental to an artist's career that's unaware of the rules. There's always going to be the two opposing forces, bad and good, in the industry. From history we've seen the honest record labels and shows. Then we've seen the dishonest ones also. Tricking artists into faulty contracts can be easy. Especially when it's so many people getting into music and the age getting younger and younger. Getting tricked into a bad contract is equivalent to slow torture. You're still alive but going through the worst pain while appearing to be alive. You've seen it on multiple occasions but you just didn't know it. These artists appear to be living life and enjoying good health. But behind the scenes you will see a different world. A world without the makeup, the world without the props and rentals. Imagine all your life you wanted to be a rapper and then boom, a record label come at you with a deal. You're young with no knowledge, financial issues and a hunger for success. What happens next? Chances are you sign. And if you sign with no knowledge of the stipulations and fine print, your career is at stake. Moral of the story: don't get caught up in the glitz and glamour. The music industry is a dirty business and always will. Will it get better? My opinion, no. It's what makes it the music industry. With the new technology out now, it makes it easier to be an artist but also easier to be targeted. The dangers will always be lurking, you just have to accept it and stay ahead by always learning the culture and dangers within.